I am Dr. Gail James. Although the exact prevalence of childhood sexual abuse is unknown, it is estimated that 12 to 40% of children in the United States experience some form of childhood sexual abuse. The shame and stigma prevent many survivors from disclosing the abuse. Incest, once thought to be rare, occurs quite more frequently and alarming than you think. Survivors can come from all cultural, racial, and economic groups. Approximately 1 in 5 women have experienced childhood sexual abuse. In the U.S. Virgin Islands, where I was born and raised, 60% of females have experienced childhood sexual abuse from a relative or family friend. I would like to tell you a little bit about myself. I am a survivor of childhood sexual abuse by 3 of my male siblings from the age of 6 to 10. This traumatic experience caused a domino effect of tragedy in my life. The self sabotage, the guilt, the shame, the rejection, abandonment, abuse, low self esteem, it all took over my entire life. This led me down a road of bad choices, which included me putting myself into domestic violence situations. I've had 2 suicide attempts and severe illnesses due to the physical, emotional, and mental stress. Though these experiences were downright depressing, frustrating, and uncomfortable, I am who I am today because of these experiences. I am a licensed clinical therapist that has mental health practices in the U.S. Virgin Islands and in Jacksonville, Florida. Due to the severe physical abuse I endured at the hands of my daughter's father, she was born when I was only 6 months pregnant. She weighed only 2 pounds at birth. I gave birth to her 2 weeks before my high school graduation. She was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, and the doctors told me she wouldn't survive. Past 1 year old. I'm proud to say my daughter is 34 years old right now. She's still in a wheelchair, she's still in diapers, but she's alive and she's well. Because of her disability, I not only decided to open home health care agencies, I've opened group homes for the developmentally disabled, such as herself. I've had assisted living facilities, and all of this because of something that was supposed to bring me shame and pain. It birthed purpose. She was born in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and now I reside in Jacksonville, Florida. Now I am the CEO and founder of Sanctuary of Change, which is a nonprofit agency in Jacksonville, Florida that provides counseling, housing, and assistance with filling out legal actions against to help survivors of sexual abuse and domestic violence. This to me is purpose. And it's purpose because it's what I've been through. And now I can give back to the community by providing these free services. You are looking at a miracle. Attempted suicide twice. Took a whole bottle of Tylenol and I didn't die. I drank bleach and I didn't die. When I say you're looking at a miracle, you're looking at a miracle because the pain didn't kill me. In fact, it made me stronger. It built my drive. It built my determination. It built my perseverance. It built my courage. It built my faith and my character. I now know that everything I've experienced was necessary. I needed it all to be who I am today. Without those experiences, I would not be the CEO of a home health care agency, the CEO of 2 nonprofits, a motivational speaker, a licensed clinical therapist, a purpose pusher, and a life changer. That is who I am. Understand that changes will happen. Some changes will be challenging. Even if you're a creature of habit that thrives on routine, there will be times when routine goes out the window and reality takes on a whole new shape. You might just impress yourself with how much you're really able to handle when it's thrown at you. That's okay. You're okay. Just breathe. Keep an open mind. What initially sounds like a complete disaster might end up being the best thing that ever happened to you. But without an open mind, you could miss the opportunity, and now your moment becomes a memory. Get out there while you may feel like curling up in a ball and staying inside forever. Getting out there and embracing your new reality will actually feel a lot better. Your life is an adventure. It's an adventure worth pursuing. So don't let setbacks, even major ones, derail you completely. Take the time to acknowledge and embrace the change, and then get back on the horse and ride, baby, ride. My message to you today is that no matter what curveball life throws at you, bob, weave, and keep moving. Don't you dare stop. Don't you let the devil talk you out of your destiny. God created you with purpose and destiny inside of you. You were created for a time such as this. You're not like everyone else. You're extraordinary. And extraordinary people do extraordinary things. So get up, shake the dust off your feet, and make the impossible possible. The moral of the story today is the pain that was meant to kill you, take it and use it to propel you into your purpose. Always remember, success is the best revenge. I say that to say this, that sometimes in life we go through things and they hurt. It's uncomfortable, but it's necessary. And sometimes you have to be uncomfortable to reach your destiny. There is no getting to your destiny without uncomfortability. Your pain, the pain that you experience that's so uncomfortable and you wish it would just stop, is necessary to propel you into your purpose. But you won't know that if you stop in the middle. So you have to go through pain to get to purpose. It's there's nothing else you can do. Purpose is necessary, but all the pain is also necessary. So I urge you today that whatever you're going through, understand that it is necessary. It shall pass because everything has a season. There is an expiration date on everything. And if you go through your pain and your process with that in mind, you will get to your purpose. So seek purpose. Success is the best revenge. All the naysayers and the Debbie Downers and the doubters, the best way to get back is to be successful. Be everything they said you would not be. Be everything they said you could not be. It's your life and it's your purpose and it's your destiny. And now go on out there and be great. What was meant to break you will be the very thing that builds you. Think about a time in your life that you have been that have been very hard for you and you were forced to become better. Hmm. Get grateful for the struggles and work on yourself to ensure your future has much more pleasure than pain. You cannot grow without growing pain. I'm going to say that again. You cannot grow without growing pains. You cannot develop strength without struggle. And change only takes place after challenging yourself. So, what is it that you need to challenge yourself with today? Oftentimes, we keep complaining of life's troubles. That life is a journey strewn with thorns. The journey may be trying and taxing, but what is important is the path we are traveling. And if the path you're traveling is too beautiful, it just confirms where it leads. If we are not feeling pain and everything appears so beautiful, then we might be stagnating. We might be stuck and stagnant. As they say, if the going gets very easy, we are definitely going downhill. More than the path, it is the destination that is most important. I want you to take your mind off of the path, the process, and the pain, and put your mind on the destination. Because the path may be difficult to walk, but the destination is our ultimate goal. If the destination is beautiful, then we should not bother ourselves with how the path is. But so many times we get stuck and stagnant because we're focusing on the path. Oh, it's rough. It's uncomfortable. Oh, I don't want to do this. Oh, but it's necessary because there's nowhere to get to your destination except going through this path. We should just keep walking. When it rains, most birds head for shelter. Hmm. The eagle is the only bird that, in order to avoid the rain, it starts flying above the cloud. Are you an eagle? Are you an eagle? Believe me, if everything were to turn good and ideal in your life, then life would really become very boring. It would become dull and drab without any colors, without any challenges, or without any excitement. But as they say, if everything were good and hunky dory in life and in the world, then why were we brought in this world? If everything in the world is good the way it is, then we definitely don't have any place in it. And I say that because we are put here for purpose, destiny, and change. So, what is your purpose? What is your destiny? As someone said, and rightly so, always see the world fit for positive changes. Because if the world is okay the way it is, then why are we here? If we have been brought to this world, then we have to find a role for ourselves to improve the world around us. What is your role? What is your role in this world? I will never forget how the childhood sexual abuse, the domestic violence, and the two suicide attempts made me feel. I'll never forget. Being sexually abused by your very own brothers is a whole nother level of trauma. I remember telling the school nurse in elementary school because I started bleeding one day. I was only 10 years old. At the time, my brother was 21. And I remember telling her what occurred. But the rejection, the blame, the shame, and the abandonment by my mother that carried me for 9 months and gave birth to me was too much to bear. After my brother admitted to the abuse in my presence, my mother didn't hug me and say she was sorry and she loved me. She said it was my fault. She said my 10-year-old self knew what I was doing and I wanted it. So I decided not to tell her about the other two brothers. She died not knowing about the other two brothers. The trauma of sexual abuse and physical abuse by my mother caused me to become untrusting of people, promiscuous, lack self-esteem, and I made decisions that were in fact not for my good. They were not in my best interest. Due to being removed from my mother's home at the age of 10 for the abuse, I was placed in the only group home in the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, that is. However, this home wasn't a home, a safe place. It wasn't for people that were dealing with traumatic issues and needed healing. It was for bad girls. Hmm. I was sharing a bed with 12 and 14-year-old girls that were sneaking men into the bedroom through the window. I'm on a twin bed with another girl that has snuck somebody in through the window and they're having sex with them. And we're bumping elbows. I felt like I went from the pot to the frying pan. That's literally what I said in my little 10-year-old mind. But with nowhere to go, I ran away from the home twice. And they eventually told me either you're gonna have to stay here or you're gonna have to choose to go back home because we can't keep taking the liability of you running away. And with nowhere to go, I eventually went back home. I went back home to my mother's house with the predators. I left again at the age of 14 with no choice because my mother broke my arm with a mop stick. I remember asking my brother, one of my brothers, if they'll take me to the hospital. And he was brave enough to go ask my mom, and my mom said, no, if you move my car, I'll break you too. So I had to wait till everybody went to sleep and sneak out the window. That didn't do me no good. I snuck out the window, went to the hospital, and they looked at my 14-year-old self and said, we cannot touch you. You're a minor. Go back home and bring an adult with you. What am I going to do? My mother has already determined she's not taking me to seek medical help. I called a friend that I knew used to come to my mother's fruit stand. And I knew he was 19. And he came and he took me to the hospital. When he took me there, I thought he was my knight in shining armor. If I only knew that was a decision I would regret for the rest of my life. This man turned into my abuser. So now my knight in shining armor is beating me, kicking me with steel toe boots, hitting me in the back of the head with 9mm guns, kidnapping me at gunpoint. This was one of the worst decisions I could have ever made. I asked God to take me out of here. I don't know if you understand what it is to feel like you want to die. To ask the very God that gave you life to kill you. Well, I feel like he wasn't moving fast enough. So I tried to take myself out. Took Tylenol, drank bleach. Didn't work. The bleach made my throat burn, but that was all. I tilted the bottle of bleach up and drank it. All I felt was anger towards God. I asked God, what did you put me on this earth for? Just for abuse? Because this pain is crazy. I go from abuse to abuse to abuse. Did you just create me for abandonment, abuse, rejection? God said, this won't break you. You know, you won't be grateful for money if you've never been broke. You won't be grateful for peace if you've never had conflict. And I say this because I'm telling you my story so you could understand that what you see now is the exact occurrence of what I've been through. Had I not been through those things, I would not be the woman I am today. If destiny allowed us to go through our life with any obstacle, it would cripple us. We would not be as strong as we could have been. We would never have been able to fly like the butterfly, which is prematurely taken out of the pupa, thereby preempting the strengthening of its wings. This is why when man asks for strength, God gave him difficulties to make him strong. When he asked for wisdom, God gave him problems to solve. When he asked for prosperity, God gave him a brain to work with. When the man asked for courage, God gave him obstacles to overcome. When the man asked for love, God gave him troubled people to help. When he asked for favors, God gave him opportunity. One cannot improve without it. Suffering derives, suffering drives us to achieve great things. Pain is necessary in order to fulfill your purpose. Without pain, there would be no suffering. Without suffering, we would never learn from our mistakes. Life will try to push you down and steal your dream, talk you into settling for mediocrity. But I want you to have a new attitude about pain. Pain needs to be your best friend. I know that don't sound right to you, but pain needs to be your best friend. Because without pain, you won't get to purpose. So you need to push through the pain. Because from pain to purpose, in the middle is where we get stuck. Process. It's a process. And without the process, you can't achieve purpose. So, what is that thing you've been sitting on? What is that thing you've been hesitating about doing? Where are you in your life right now that you have chosen to stop and be stagnant because it is too tough? It is too uncomfortable. It don't feel good. I need you to think about that thing. And I need you to get determined in your spirit. And with everything you got in you, muster up that strength to keep going. Because as long as you have breath, there is hope. Every day that you get up, you have a choice to keep going. So whatever that thing is today, I need you to get up. Dust your feet off and keep going. You can do this. You were built for this. I promise you, you were built for this. God created you for a time such as this. This is your moment. And if you miss your moment, it becomes a memory. Get up and move. Hi, I'm Dr. Gail James, your trauma therapist here. I wanted you to know about this book that I wrote that's on Amazon. The name is From the Pit to the Palace. You can go to Amazon and purchase this book. I also have my new book and workbook that is launching on January 10th. The name of the book is You Can Heal. You can find it on Amazon also. I promise you won't be disappointed with these books. You can read and do the workbook to help you through your trauma journey. Thank you for your support. I look forward to connecting with you on all my social media platforms.